weekly virtual Big B meetup. Big B Meetup is a community initiative founded in 2018 in Qatar. And in April 2020, the pandemic gave birth to the virtual edition. Big B Meetup is inspired by the people of Qatar, both local and expatriate, and dedicated to my mother. It aims to inform, to educate, to inspire, and bring communities together. This episode features two national sportsmen of Qatar, Marwan Al Jalam. Is that right?
Yes,
Did I
right.
pronounce it properly? I was worried. Yeah. National team cyclist, and Abdullah Al Tamimi, Qatar's champion squash player. Welcome, Abdullah and Marwan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Marwan, would you like to introduce yourself, a short introduction about yourself to our audience, please?
Well, good evening, Pascal. Good evening, Qatar. Good evening, Abdullah. My name is Marwan Al Jalham, and I'm a national team rider in Qatar National Cycling Team. Um, I'm a father, and I'm also engineer at HIA. I started cycling back in 2007, but I had to stop to finish my studies. I finished my studies in United States for 5 years, and then I went back to cycling in 2016. And yeah,
Okay,
that's
fantastic. Thank you for that introduction. Abdullah, would you like to introduce yourself, please, to our audience?
Yes, I'm Abdullah Al Tamimi, Qatar national squash player. I've been playing squash since 2002. I guess that's 18 years now.
MashaAllah, yeah.
So, is it 18? Yeah, I got the math right, I think. 18, 19 maybe now. So, yeah, I'm not an engineer, and I'm not a father yet.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
yeah, I recently got married, so hopefully soon.
Oh, Mabruk, Mabruk.
Thank you. I'm ranked 29 in the world at the moment, and I'm sponsored by Aspire Academy, and I'm an employee in Aspire Academy as well as that.
Oh, lovely.
And sponsored by Red Bull and Al Bida Group here, right there. So yeah, sponsored by a few companies as well here in Doha, and yeah, that's. I used to play football as well until I'm 17 years old. So now I'm
Abdullah.
only a full-time professional squash player.
Sure. Hang on. You're answering all my questions, and I have no questions for you now. Well, since you're showing your jersey, this is my special jersey I've worn. It is my hockey team, field hockey team, that my father started in 1979 in Qatar. In 1979,
Nice.
I just picked this up today. It's fresh. It's the latest jersey for the 2021 year, the Corona year.
Before you even born.
Yeah.
Before you guys were born, I was born.
Yeah.
I was born, Habibi. I was born. Yeah. So let me come back to Marwan. Marwan, what made you take up cycling?
Well, it's all started up in my high school. There was Qatar Cycling Federation. They were doing a league for the schools, and our sport teacher came up to our class and says, "Who wants to go and do a cycling race?" I said, me, and then he selected me, and it was around 4 or 5 races. Weekly there was one race, and I ended be in the top of the league, and we got that league of my school. And then after a while, the national team contacted me, and they said there's going to be a camp in Belgium, in Brussels. So that's how I started my cycling, and I started with the national team at that time.
Lovely. Let us welcome our very prominent guest. This is Elizabeth here. She's one of the viewers. She's the president of the American Women's Association in Qatar, and a Big B meetup fan. Yeah, she's always supporting us. So that's a wave
Nice.
for Elizabeth. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah.
Welcome to the.
Marwan, who is your favorite? I mean, yeah, what made you take up cycling? I know, but now we know. But who is your favorite cyclist? Be it local or regional or international, who's your favorite cyclist?
Honestly, as a cyclist, there is like bunch of the great riders around the world. You know, like in the cycling, we have like a different cycling versions. Like we have mountain bike, we have road races, we have like time trials. But one of my best riders is Van der Poel. He's from Netherlands. He just won the world cycling cross in Belgium, and
Oh,
he's one of the top riders in the world.
wow.
So
I'm
like
I'm a big, I'm a big Dutch football fan since the 1990s.
the same here.
Marco van Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, Ronald Koeman, those guys. Again, you guys must have been
And
in the second.
all of these people. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. And where do you draw your inspiration from, Marwan? I mean, when you're cycling, or, where do you draw your inspiration from? What inspires you?
The inspiration always like there, like from my team. I have like my team, Russian team. Like we inspire each other. We encourage each other. I have one of my biggest challenger in this sport, Fadl Mubarak Al Khater. Like
Oh,
like he's my firework in this cycling races and competition.
inshallah.
Any competition here in Qatar, you will see me and him in competing for first and second. And sometimes in our bad situation, we are not even there. But he's one of my biggest inspiration, and my team as well.
Yeah, I would like to have Fadil next time on the show. I'd like to have another cyclist.
Inshallah,
And
we'll try to get him.
yeah, yes, exactly. Let's move to Abdullah. Let's go back to Abdullah. And Abdullah, if you could just remind us, when did you begin your sporting journey? Did you start with squash? What made you take up squash?
At the start, I was a very active kid at the house. So I used to sleep with the football in my hand. I used to hug the football and sleep. I was extremely in love with football. I watch all the football matches. Anyone playing, I don't care about the teams. Whoever is
Oh,
playing on
nice.
TV, I'll be watching. I just love it. But my father wouldn't let me go in such a young age to play football. He was worried about injuries because he suffered injuries as well when he used to play football. So
Oh,
my older brother Ahmed, who was ex GCC champion 3 times under 19, so
football?
he was playing squash, and they took him
Oh,
off
okay.
school as well, same as Jasim, so same as Marwan. So from school they took him. So I told my dad I need to get out of the house. I need to do something. I can't just be with the girls in the house. I need to get out. So I told him I want to go with my brother. At least I can go once or twice a week. So I used to go, and I tried squash the first time, I think 2002, as long as I remember. And I didn't really like it at all. Like I didn't like the sport. I felt it's boring, and so I used to go once a week. But within 3 sessions or 4 sessions, I was beating all the guys been playing for 2 3 years. So the coach used to come all the way to the house. His Egyptian coach Ahmed Al Saka. He used to come all the way to my house, and he lives in Ma'mura, and my house in Al Aziziyah, and the club is
Oh,
in Al Ahli club. In Al Ahli club, I used to play. So he used to come pick me up, force my dad to take me to training and take me back home. And he used to film me playing, and always believed in me that I could be a good squash player. And so I
fantastic.
started to go 3 4 times a week till say about 12 years old, and then I decided, okay, I'm playing football in front of our house in Al Aziziyah. There is a football pitch, so I was playing there for fun. and then one of the team guides in Al Sadd club saw me play, and he saw me leaving the pitch to go to the house. So we get a ring in the bell, and it says they speak to my father and they want me in Al Sadd club to join for football. So I said, okay, it's always been my dream, so I'll go. So straight away.
From Azizia,
So
you should go to Rayyan, not Al Sadd, Ana Rayani.
No, Al Sadd is close. Oh, I'm Rayani too.
I'm Saddawi here, so.
Oh!
Yes. So I'm mixed. I played for Al Sadd and I support Al Rayyan. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. From Al Sadd, not from Al Rayyan.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is fantastic. This is nice.
So so I started playing football, and till I'm 17, I used to play football in Al Sadd club, and then squash in Aspire Academy. At the start in Aspire Academy, I wasn't allowed to join the academy with 2 sports, so I had to choose in Aspire which sport I want in Aspire and which sport I can. So I said, for sure, I will choose squash for Aspire, because we had Jeff Hunt, the coach. He was 8-time world champion, so I could have, and he's my inspiration for this sport. And without him, I wouldn't be playing squash until now. So he's 8 times world champion, and so he's a legend of one of the top 3 legends in the sport with Jahangir and Janshir.
True.
So yeah, I decided to play football in Al Sadd club and squash in Aspire. Till I'm 17, I had my biggest decision in my life to just play squash full time, and which is a very hard decision because you're quitting a lot of cash.
Abdullah was very good football player, so it was.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hard.
Mashallah. What was your position? I don't want to digress.
I was a midfielder.
Oh, you're a midfielder. My God. Yeah. Wow. That's a very good, that's a very important position because you control the game then.
Yeah.
So when did you start beating your brother? Your brother was a national champion of
Yes.
Qatar?
So Jeff Hunt, my coach, always told my brother, never ever let your younger brother beat you because it will be the end for you. So we always had there's only 2 years between us. I think the first time I beat him when I was 16 and he was 18. And it was his last year in junior. I think I beat him for the first time. And then after that, he started getting injuries. And actually, it was a joke from my coach to him, but he had an injury and he had some personal issues with the federation and his life, and his friends passed out in high school. So he had a lot of personal problems. So he decided to stop for a year or 2. He couldn't play. So that was for him. He only played junior level. Like he didn't keep going as a professional player. But yeah, as soon as I first time beat him, he never beat me again. So.
I hope he's not watching. When we won't continue with this conversation, we'll go back to.
Maybe he heard me say that before, so it's all good.
Over to him.
Yeah. So coming back to Marwan, what are your greatest sporting achievements so far? I mean, I'm sure you're going to achieve much more. But what have you?
So we have not get the chance to participate in lots of international races since I got back in 2016 into the national team. But one of the greatest achievement where we participate in a race in Croatia. It's called 4 Island Race, and it's one of the toughest races in the world. It's a mountain bike race. You see here in Qatar, we do not have any mountain around us. We try to find some hard, off-road, around Al Khisa and Dahair. Over there.
How about Zikrit?
Zikrit as well. Zikrit, yes. But there is no high altitude to train in. So it was one of the greatest achievement to be able to finish the stage races. It was 5 races, 5 stage. Like you go for 70K with elevation of 2,000 elevation above the sea level. It was really tough for us, and lots of people over there, they were having like discussions about us, like these guys from Qatar, they will not be able to finish. So I told them, like, you will see us in the finish line. We finished Samla like 3 times or 2 times, so this will not be so this one was like one of the toughest races I have participated in, and I consider it a big achievement.
Fantastic, great. How do you train? What is your training regime like? For I believe you just told me earlier today you did 100K. 100K.
Yeah, exactly. We have like a weekly plan. We our national team coach upload the sessions like since the start of COVID-19, like, with all the restrictions and like the precaution that we take from the beginning of COVID-19. So we have it like a virtual apps that we do our sessions from home, and sometimes like you can go do it outside. So it's weekly, and we have 1 day off. Like you don't do anything. It's like your body need to recover as much as the training will benefit you. It's like the recovery day is very important for you to recover. And yeah, today, as I told you, I had the session with my teammate Rasin at Finisher Shop. We did it at Al Wakra. We used the cycling tracks. The country has like lots of cycling tracks now, and it's safe to cycle over there instead of cycling in the road itself. So we did 105 today. The guys did like 120. I was off because like we got bencher and we have to wait for the help from the team.
Is that an excuse, Marwan?
Actually, it's not an excuse, but like the plan was to go like for 200K today, but it didn't work out. So hopefully next week.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Let this Abdullah is laughing at us. Okay, we better get back to and catch hold of him now.
Yeah.
Abdullah, what are your current goals? What are your, like, as in, because I feel the sport moves so fast. I can't ask you a 5-year plan. This is not a corporate deal. What are your plan? What is your current goal? In the next, say, 1 year or 2 years.
So my goal for sure is the next Asian Games. That last year, I think I was last Asian Games. I was the most ready for the Asian Games, and I got really unlucky in the quarterfinals. I was 7-3 up in the 5th game after being 2 left down, and I couldn't. I think I had a lot of pressure. I couldn't really control the pressure. I was playing against a very experienced Malaysian guy who had 3 medals in Asian Games before, and he was higher than me in the ranking. But I couldn't handle the pressure, I think, and I had an extra pressure on me. I was the flag bearer in the opening ceremony as well, so this added a lot of extra pressure on me. And 2 weeks before the Asian Games, I won the Malaysian Open, and I beat it number 1, 2, and 3 in number 2, 3, and 4 in Asia. So to win the tournament, so the country and everyone around the sport had a lot of hope for the Asian Games. And I was really ready. Like 2 days after I lost to the guy, I beat him in the team event 3-love in 20 minutes. But it was just that one match, that I couldn't handle the pressure as good as I should, and it was very disappointment moment for me that I didn't drop a single game the whole tournament in the team events and the previous matches, except that match. But at the end of the day, it's an experience. I was only 23 years old. So in squash, the peak years is 28 to 32, I would say, peak time for squash. You're fully experienced, and the fitness level is reaching highest, and you played a lot of extra matches. And I believe hopefully the next one get a medal, and hopefully the one after as well. And one day, hopefully, we're in the Olympics. And this is at the moment, this is my biggest goal for Asian Games. But my biggest goal is to reach the top 10 in the world, hopefully in the next few years.
Fantastic. So then I can ask you your 5-year plan, and I'm sure your 10-year plan is to win the gold medal or win a medal when the Asian Games comes back to Qatar in 2030.
Oh yeah, sure. I will be.
You'll be
How old
late
I'll
32?
be 30. I'll be 30. I'll be what? 34, I think. 34,
Oh,
35.
okay.
So it's
So
perfect.
a bronze,
No,
maybe a bronze.
no, gold. I'll get the gold in Qatar, inshallah.
Inshallah, inshallah.
All the best, inshallah. Great. Yes, yes. So, Abdullah, let me switch something here to you. You play football, of course. You're a good footballer. Have you tried cycling?
At the at the start of COVID-19, yes.
Everybody became a cyclist.
And it's
Everybody became a cyclist.
it's the first time I did. I think the first time I ever did, I did 40 kilometers.
Oh wow!
And, I did not the fast bike, as you know. I did the street bikes, like the heavy one, not the light. Because I see people, I'm going as hard as I could, and some people are just with a proper bike, cost like 10,000, 15,000 real. They just go past me like so easy.
Yeah.
But I think I was doing speed of, I was doing 23, 24 kilometer the speed. So I was going in really high, like high speed.
The mountain bike, this is great. Like,
no, we're going fast. Like we're trying to kill it,
So basically,
I did it as a training session, not as fun. I did it as a training session.
So basically, it's all in the racket and in the cycle. It's all in the racket and in the cycle.
No, actually, for squash is what I say. The amount of whatever you do, whatever you train, however you train, there's always some guys on tour are doing way more than you do.
Yeah. Coming back to the match that you said you lost, don't you think it's more mental than physical that you lost because you had the pressure?
Yeah,
definitely.
I think I think that I wasn't even breathing hard. Like I wasn't even tired at all. It was never. I think the fittest I was ever in my career at that time.
Wow.
I was training as Marwan said earlier in altitude. I was I was in Australia. You would think there's no altitude there, but we had an altitude center. So I'm training my running sessions and my circuit session and my bike sessions. They're all at 1,500 meters above sea level. So I'm doing the session there for 4 weeks. So I felt the fittest I could ever be, And the Malaysian Open, when I won 3 5-setters in a row, and 3 in a row. Like every day I play 5-setters in a row, and I didn't feel tired, So I think it wasn't at all physical. It was 100% mental in that match, and that's the thing. After that tournament, I started working with a sports psychologist.
I was just going to ask you that. You know my questions before I ask you. That was my next question.
No,
so
definitely.
you worked with a sports psychologist. That's so important.
Now, with the help of Aspire Academy, for sure, we have really good sports psychologists.
For the benefit of the viewers and future sports enthusiasts, what are the key elements that you could take away from a sports psychologist? Because I see people like, for example, I'm a big Rafa Nadal fan. And, sometimes not only Rafa Nadal, even Nole, and you see the other players, they keep talking to themselves, And some
any champion in the world, he will have a sports psychologist. There's none of them don't have it. None. Like they all, at some point, they need it's, you don't have to be crazy or retarded, or it's just And he always say to me, the sports psychologist, I'm gonna help you 1%, maybe as well, you know. But
You
if
know,
that 1% at one point in the match, you remember one thing, and it will help you win the point and
you
win the
know,
whole tournament. You
very
know,
well said.
so
That 1%. My father, who's a sportsman, he says 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration.
yeah.
I,
That's what he's. That's
I
what he
see
said.
some tennis players the like break the racket. Is this
Yeah.
normal?
Oh yeah, we all do. We all do.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
know, you don't want to get closer to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Talking.
changed that. I changed that because if you break the racket, you get contact stroke, so you lose a point.
Yeah.
So what do you do
So
instead?
I slap myself.
Oh, don't go
That
hard on
It's
yourself.
whatever to get you back in. So for me, maybe I hit myself with the racket, or I slap myself, or it's just a way for me to remember that I'm doing the wrong thing, and it gets me back to the straight line. Is whatever you feel comfortable with to remind yourself that to go back to the green light. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to remind yourself. Either some people talk to themselves, you know, and
yes.
you have
Yes.
to always talk positive to yourself. You cannot say negative stuff to yourself. Always keep positive. Like instead
Wow.
of say don't do that, say do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
lot of like small things that comes in your head just before serving to play the next ball. You know, so
My
Can't
it's
God. I can
a lot of
imagine.
mental issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to yourself, Marwan, how do you balance work and play? It's the same question for Abdullah, but Abdullah is much younger and he isn't married yet. So, Marwan, how do you balance
Oh
work?
no, I'm married.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He's
Okay.
married and he's soon to be a father, inshallah.
Recently married. Recently.
Ah,
Yeah.
recently married. Okay. So he can still manage balancing. But Marwan, how are you balancing everything?
Well, like sport with work, it's sometimes it could be tough, but it's really good. Like to if you can balance the sport, it helps you sometimes in your work. For example, like sometimes I wake up early in the morning. Like I start work usually at 7. So sometimes in the morning I go to the Briar and then I come back and do 1 hour session, and like you go to work fresh and like ready to work, you know. So it's sometimes it could be tough, like when I go back from work and they have a session to do, like you're tired, you don't want to do it, so you sleep, like, and then like later at night, like it's like a little bit tricky because like you have all of your friends going out and like the family gathering, and you still have to do your session before you go out or you go to uh, the family gathering and these things. So sometimes like it's like you need to force yourself and like, you know, to adapt yourself with this situation, which like I'm good at. Like I do it before, you know, like before I go to the family, and like but I still, like, you know, get lots of criticized from them, saying like, come on man, like you spend 3 hours 2 hours in your bike, you don't get tired of this, like why are you doing this? Because he doesn't love the sport, and he doesn't, you know, they haven't tasted it and tried it. They think like it's boring and like you just doing it, you know, because like it's a waste of time, which actually it's not. Because I love this sport and I do it with passion, you know.
So dedication is key.
Uh,
Dedication is key. Dedication and focus is key.
exactly. And you have like, you have goals, you have like you have goals that you have set them up and you want to reach them, so you need to work hard, and you like your team around you are like working really hard. Like at the end of the day, when you come to a race or something and your team all fit and you are the only guy in your team that like wasn't doing his sessions and wasn't doing his work in the right way, you will feel it. You will feel like really disappointed at that moment. At that moment when everyone is like staying in the peloton and you are like you are breaking down, which is really bad feeling.
Yeah. Now my next question, Marwan, is I've been always wanting to buy a cycle. I had a cycle when I was a kid in India, and in Doha also when I was growing up in Musharraf, in Abdullah bin Thani. I lived in Abdullah bin Thani. Yeah. So my dad, he bought me a three-wheeler cycle. I was like 2 years old. But Marwan, what kind of cycle do you do? What kind of cycle do you use, and how many cycles do you have?
Well, right now I have like my Cannondale. It's one of the best bikes you will find in the market, and you can find them at Russin at Furniture Shop. I like the shop that we are sponsored by, and I have like other three bikes, spare bikes, because I remember when once upon the time, like I broke my frame and I had an issue. I do not have a bike to train. So from that moment, I decided to buy like at least two bikes. One it's there and that's in my home trainer, and one is like for the outdoor sessions, just in case if you like, let's say something happened to your bike, the one you train outside, you have the backup plan immediately to take it out, and it doesn't stop you from training. So, and there is like a different type of bikes. For example, I have three road bikes, one mountain bike, and time trial bike, and there is one track bike. Track bike that has only one gear, and you are only allowed like to do it inside the track or
Wow.
in a trainer.
So basically, you have a cycle shop at home then, a cycle shop.
That's what my parents telling me, like, take your bikes out of here, like they start getting
Wow.
annoyed.
And I was going to buy a cycle from one of the shops here, I think Galaxy Sports or something, and I was seeing something for 800 riyal, and I'm like, that's a little too expensive for me. But then you tell me there are cycles for $20,000 or 50,000 riyals.
Yeah, indeed, there is a range, like it can up to go like to 50,000 Qatari riyal, but like it depends on your needs. If you are just starting the cycling field, like I would recommend something like something cheap, something like affordable, and then like after that, if you're like your fitness level is getting there, and like you reach to a point that the bike does not help you going like faster, then you can upgrade to the next level bike.
Well, you know what? I have an idea. Let me just drop me a pin of where you live, and if you're throwing any cycles out, or if any of your cycles doesn't have a lock, don't blame me if it's missing tomorrow. Okay?
No, all of my bikes are indoor. Like like I take care of them more than I take care of my car.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. The next question for you is what is your preferred brand? What was the brand you said?
Cannondale. I used to have System 6. It's one of the fastest bikes out there, and it's really good for Qatar since we do not have any hills, and it's all wind, and the geometry of the bike, it's like to cut the wind through.
Okay.
And like recently I just bought Super 6. Super 6, basically Super 6, it's the same thing, but it's more like you can climb on it. So I took it, like for example, if we traveled overseas, like to like high altitude countries that we have to go through the mountains. So it's good for climbing as well.
Oh wow, that's lovely.
And there's lots of other brands, like it depends what you prefer. Like there's like lots of good quality bike and like high range brands here in Qatar as well. There's lots of shops. There is so many options.
Yeah, I'm not much of a. I think I've played squash only once, and maybe 20 years ago at Doha Club. There's no more Doha Club anymore, but
yes,
it was in. You remember Doha Club?
Yeah, I know Doha Club. Yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of rackets do you play? What is your brand? What is your preferred brand, Abdullah?
At the moment, I play with Hara. It's a new
Okay.
it's a new model. Like it's been recently added to squash with
Oh,
Harrow rackets. It's I think Canadian company or
oh,
American.
okay.
Yeah, North America. It's North American. I've been playing the last 3 years. I really like the rackets because the Dunlop used to be the best for me,
Mhm.
and because I like the round shape racket. There is the straighter one,
Okay.
which I'm not a big fan. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think Dunlop changed a lot of their rackets. So at the moment, I don't like the racket. But when I was younger, I used to play with that racket. But at the moment, I play with Harrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
A few more questions for you guys. I think you told me this, Abdullah, but what do you rank as your biggest sporting achievement in squash?
My
Maybe in
ranking, biggest achievement, well, reaching 23 in the world was a big
oh,
thing. Before I got injured and I had to do surgery, so I dropped
okay.
from 23 to 58 in 4 months. So then I had to reclaim back the ranking, which is not easy to do. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
reached 27. I reached 27, and then we got hit by COVID. So
yeah. But
yeah, so I'm
does
waiting for the next comeback and hopefully reach higher and higher. But my biggest wins are I won Australian Open,
oh
I
wow.
won Malaysian Open, I won Atlanta Open, I won 3 tournaments in Qatar, I won GCC juniors and seniors. I won West Asian Championship Gold 2019. Straight after I came
Wow.
back from the surgery, it was my
Fantastic.
first tournament after the surgery, so it was good to win the gold for Qatar. Um, yeah, so if you,
let me play reverse psychology with you here. Let me play reverse. You have won, mashallah, you have won so many things. What would you say would be your greatest loss what's the loss that you remember the most, where you can
I think
where
big.
you
well, I
pardon me,
have
Nabil?
the loss in Asian Games. This is, I think, the biggest one. Um, to but I have another few big losses because I was 9-5 up against number 3 in the world here in Qatar in
Wow.
2006. So I was 2006. So I was 21 years old, and I was playing number 3 in the world, and he was 2-love up against me, and I came back to 2-all and 9-5. So I was 2 points away
Wow.
from knocking him out first round, and I choked. The I choked big time. I couldn't even hold the racket. Like the
Oh my
fear of winning.
God.
Yeah, the fear of winning. I just could not finish it off. And yeah, it
Damn.
was um, it was a shock. And at the last World Championship here in Qatar in last year, 2019, 2020 actually, and I played the world champion Tarek Momin in third round, which was the first time Qatari reached third round of the World Championship, the last 16. So
Mashallah.
I was yeah, I lost. I was 2-1 up and 2-1 up and 7-3 up against
Wow.
the world champion. So I was very close of winning that match as well, and he ended up winning the whole tournament. He won. He became
Oh
the world champion, and I
wow.
was the only one. I was gutted because I was the only one who took 2 games from him. He won
Oh
all
my
his
God.
matches. He won all his matches 3-love.
Abdullah,
So
Abdullah, I would like to say, I want to salute you because not many champions talk about their losses,
yeah,
and
I just learned from them.
this is a
I
very
just
good
learned
tribute, or
from
very good attribute, very humble, and thank you for sharing this. This is a very strong character you're portraying here, mashallah, very good, and I
no,
wish you
because
all
if
the
you if
best.
you don't if you don't lose because if you don't lose and learn, you're not gonna win. You cannot
Oh,
you cannot win everything.
I might withdraw after hearing all of this achievement. I might withdraw what I told you at the beginning, like live. I told you that I can play with Abdullah one squash match because I used to play in my university. So like I might withdraw after hearing all of this.
No,
Yeah.
you guys.
Impossible for
Actually,
me.
yeah, you guys are welcome to come try out squash in my academy because I recently opened an academy as well for squash.
Oh, fantastic.
I follow you guys on Instagram. I followed you guys, and I see you guys doing a competition, 80 and or something like that.
80, the company name is 80A. Yes, the academy.
Mabruk, Mabruk.
And
Very nice.
cancel for this
Yes,
upcoming.
because of the COVID rules came out one day before the tournament, so we had to, for the safety of everybody, so we had to postpone. We didn't cancel it, so we just postponed it till we get further notice about the ihtiraz and all these stuff about COVID. So,
True.
yeah.
Marwan, I have a few more questions for you, Marwan. Have you raced internationally?
Yes,
And
we have raced in Oman the
wow.
Arab national champion mountain bike, and that was the first time that Qatar national teams federation sent riders to do a mountain bike race.
Oh wow.
It's a great experience for us, and we get to interfere with the national riders from different countries, from Tunisia, from Morocco, from Oman, from like Saudi, from lots of different countries. Also, we participate in the Asian Championship in Lebanon. In Lebanon,
Lovely.
you see the different level between the Arab champion and the Asian champion, and it was a big step for us to get interface and like see these people like one day we might inshallah try to beat them and get a medal for our country inshallah.
True, absolutely. What is the name of your cycling team, Marwan?
It's a Rasen Adventure Shop team.
Okay.
It's already it's been there like for quite a bit of a long time, and but this year's we take it to the next step where we have like official contracts with the team members, and like they get sponsorship from the Blue Group, from Rasen team, and Sport Corner. And they've been very supportive to the cycling community. They are out there in each of the races, the triathlon, the mountain bike races. They are there, like they are supporting, and somehow they cooperate in the prizes and the cost of the organization. So it's really good to have some companies that support the cycling, and to see. I hope in the future we see more than one team, or we already start seeing like some teams, for example, like you have Never Wasted team. They started this season. Cycling and wrestling team, as I told you, like we've been there for like quite a bit of time, like maybe 3 or 4 years, and they were already existing before I rejoined the cycling community.
Oh, lovely. Any upcoming races should we look at?
We have the schedule set up, and we have a couple of races coming up, but unfortunately with the COVID 19 coming back, so they canceled all the races, and we are just trying to keep training from home, like outside. Like when we go, we try to go like with minimum numbers, like we keep our distance to try like to stay fit. Whenever they open the races, we are there. We are ready to hit it.
True, very true. Abdullah, I know you answered this question, but I'm putting it in another way. So I've done a little bit of homework on you, and I believe, Mabruk, this is your 10th anniversary of turning pro. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I played my first tournament 10 years ago in 2011. but because we get the wild card in Qatar Classic, one of the big tournaments. So my first tournament was 2011. I was still a junior, so I was still at school. So technically, I didn't turn pro in 2011 because I only turned pro 2013, 2014, start of 2014, like end of 2000, that season, 2013, 2014, because the last World Juniors I played was 2013 in Poland, and I made the semi-final, the World Championship.
Oh, wow.
So that was the last tournament I played in juniors, and then I turned pro a few months after that.
I see. Okay, so we need to correct the Wikipedia account then.
Yeah, but on Wiki, because I was a member of the professional association from 2011, because they used to sign us, the federation sign us in they just sign us in as professional players. It's good for the career.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Can you give us a quick rundown of the 10 years? Can you remember some highlights of those 10 years? Like a few highlights.
Oh yes, for sure. I think at the start we used to. The lucky thing was that my older brother was with me, because we used to travel. We go to Egypt. As you know, Egypt, the biggest in squash at the moment, has been the last 20, 30 years. So we used to go, I'm 8 years old, and I used to go for a camp to Egypt for 40 days in summer and 30 days in winter, So I leave Qatar for a long time. It helps me like to take care of myself. I don't need anyone else to do stuff with me. I live my own life. I know how to deal with stuff. Give me a lot of experience, a different culture. So we used to go to Egypt a lot, and then so I learned the attacking squash from Egyptians. They play attacking squash. It's fun to watch and then more entertaining. And I used to not care about losing at all since till I'm say 17, 18. I didn't care less win or lose. I was doing it for fun. I was enjoying myself, learning more tricks and do as much as I can to entertain people. I didn't really care I won or I lost at that age. The only time this changed for me is when I turned professional, because it became my job. And then when it's your job, then you have to be 100% honest with yourself and with the people or what you are working for. That's how I make my money. So I need to make sure I'm putting 100% or 200% to win, because and I'm putting a lot on my shoulder because I'm the only professional Qatari player. So I need to raise the flag up in every occasion and every country I go to. I need to be as well behaved as I could. I like to give good, be an inspiration for young kids in Qatar to grow squash in the country. I want more people to play squash in the country, not just male, female as well. I'm very happy that in Qatar, when we first opened our academy, we did a tournament for female, and we had only 3 players. And this year we did a tournament, and we had 30 players, and they're all Qataris.
Oh wow, Mabruk.
So we are trying to get squash big in the country and see how good of a sport it is, and it's not just hitting walls and the ball come back to you. So
Abdullah, can you give us the name of your academy and the Instagram handle so that and the social media handle so that we can promote
it? ATA Sports. ATA Sports. That's the academy.
Great.
Yeah.
My light battery just went out on me. It does it very rarely, but
that's all right.
You can still see me, right? That's fine.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, lovely, great. So, what I would like to say, I would like you all to, Abdullah, first, your message of love and peace to all our viewers. What would you like to say as a parting note to everybody?
Hi there.
Did you hear him?
Yeah,
Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's getting boisterous now.
No, I would like to say to everyone, especially at this time during COVID, just have hope and always be thankful of what you have, when you're doing stuff, when you're traveling, when you're playing, when you're gathering with your family, and that always be grateful and thank God for this environment you're in, and everyone is safe. As you see now, everyone is getting the virus, and the cases are going higher.
Yeah.
Especially these days, people need to be more aware and more educated about this situation, and not just leave it at it is, And if I get it, I get it. Now you need to be more responsible and try to be safe, and don't, if you don't care about yourself, care about your kids, your parents, your grandfather and mother, and the old guys in the country, and your workers, your maid, your driver. They all human beings as well, try to treat them nice, especially in these days. And just be more responsible about things than just, oh, I don't believe in this or I don't believe in that. Just respect the situation you're in, and yeah, try to stay away from people who got cases, or just stay more careful. And especially on these days, I think that's the best thing to say about because during these days it's all about this, and everyone's staying safe, and I'm sure life will go back to normal soon, and everyone will be traveling. And I travel like 8 9 months of the 12 months every year. So imagine, I've been in Qatar for the last almost year now. So it's hard for everybody, and I'm not used to it. But we have to deal with this situation and fight it, and we're all going to be back to where we were, and a lot better, I'm sure.
Inshallah.
Wow, mashallah. Lovely, lovely. I love your message, Abdullah. You have a career in sports marketing and talking, huh, in the future. Once you're done, yeah.
I used to be a shy till I'm 17, 18. I used to be a shy person, and I wouldn't talk, and I couldn't even talk in English. There's my English was very bad.
Abdullah, I see the course that we took from the Olympic community. I see it did
Yeah, you
it.
remember? Yeah, yeah.
MashaAllah, يعني, like it did really good. You
Yeah,
applying
wow.
everything that you have learned here.
Yeah, so you can give a review to that guy and say,
Wallah.
The good thing is recorded, so we can share the link with him, so he can see it.
yes,
Yes, yes,
yes,
absolutely.
definitely.
Marwan, it is your turn now to give us your message of love.
Abdullah, mashallah, he didn't leave anything for me. I would say the same things that he said. Take care of yourself at this bad situation. It's we've been through last year, and we handled it really good. We coordinate with the restrictions with our government. We stayed in our houses. Like it doesn't mean you're gonna stop sport, stop like doing your exercises. You can actually train from home. We have all the things that will help you to train from home. Me as a cyclist, during COVID-19 last year, I did like in 7 days I did around 2,000 kilometer.
Wow.
Yeah, and I won a competition from my home, from my room. So never give up. And this is a bad time. Like it's a temporary situation, inshallah, and it's gonna go through. Stay healthy. Care about your family, about your kids, our elders. The people who cannot handle maybe like the COVID, if they get the virus, they might like it might cost their life. So that's it. Take care of yourself and the people around you and the people you love, and that's my message to you guys. And take care of yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And thank you, all the viewers, for tuning in for our 35th episode. Abdullah and Marwan, it was an honor and pleasure to have you on the show, both of you all. One thing I'd like to tell you all, and I've seen it in many sportsmen, in fact, most of them, is you all are so focused and you all achieved so much, but you all are also so humble. and down to earth, And I've seen that much more in Marwan and in Abdullah today. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. And I would love to get to know more about Abdullah's the academy.
Yeah,
And
me too. I would like to have a match with Abdullah. I know he's gonna beat me, but I will try my best.
well, let's do this.
Practice with me. So
Yalla. In the closed room, I think with quarantine, they allow 5 people. So I will come also. I want to be a guest also.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, no problem. We will set
Excellent.
it up
Great.
for sure.
Let's do this. Yes. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us. It was a
You're
pleasure.
welcome. Shukran, everybody, and ma